How big is Ahrefs in terms of billing on user, more or less?
Yeah, we shared a couple of years ago that we've crossed 100 million in annual recurring revenue.
How do you show the public what makes you better than the competitors?
And your homepage is a great way to tell your potential customers.
If you had like a magic wand and you could improve or change anything just right now magically, what would you do on Ahrefs?
Hey, ¿qué pasa, amante del SEO? Bueno, bien por aquí. Voy a hacer una pequeña introducción al vídeo que vas a ver a continuación. Antes que nada tengo que decir que ha sido un lujo poder grabar este contenido. Creo que es un contenido muy raro en habla hispana, ¿ok? Es decir, por más que busques entrevistas subtituladas, traducidas o de alguna forma de Tim Soulo en español, por así decirlo, pues no las vas a encontrar porque es un personaje pues de la blogosfera, vamos a decir, del SEO pues angloparlante. Tim Soulo, ¿quién es? Tim Soulo es el CMO de Ahrefs, es el jefe de marketing de Ahrefs o Ahrefs, que es una de las herramientas SEO más grandes del mundo. Es uno de los software SEO más grandes del mundo y a día de hoy una gran multinacional del SEO, como en su día lo fue hemos, por ejemplo, con su carismático líder del bigote, Ram Fiskin, ¿no? Que ya no está tan en boca de tantos, pero bueno, tiempo atrás pues también era un personaje popular, muy leyenda, ¿no? Como pueda ser a día de hoy Tim. Ha sido un lujazo entrevistar a Tim Soulo. Para mí, tengo que decir que a nivel personal, Tim Soulo es mi mayor referente en estos momentos del mundo del SEO, es una inspiración absoluta, porque él ha liderado una compañía como Ahrefs, que es un software SEO, y lo ha llevado desde un punto relativamente pequeño, vamos a decir, hasta el monstruo exponencial de software con miles y miles y miles y decenas de miles de clientes mensuales que es a día de hoy. Obviamente yo tengo comparado con ellos, ¿no? Una muy pequeña startup que es de InnoRank. Yo también creo software SEO. Estoy muy en foco en mejorar nuestro producto todos los meses, en contratar a nuevas personas para el equipo, reclutar talento. Hace poco hemos metido a otro programador también en nómina con nosotros. Muy en contacto con los usuarios, tratando de mejorar DinoRank todos los meses. Hace poco le hemos metido una gráfica de visibilidad que es chulísima, ¿vale? Que es espectacular, compite con la de SEMrush, incluso diría que es mejor, sensiblemente mejor. Y esta obsesión mía de estar dentro del mundo del software, del SEO, hace que yo me fije en otros referentes que han hecho esto que yo quiero hacer, ¿no? Supongo que es como todo. Cuando ves a alguien que ha recorrido el camino que has hecho tú y que lo ha hecho de forma extraordinaria a un nivel de talento, pues esa persona termina siendo un referente para ti y lo terminas admirando. Por eso tengo que agradecer desde aquí a Tim su generosidad cuando yo le mandé un email y le dije que lo querría entrevistar para que la comunidad del SEO hispana, también en español, conozcan una parte de la historia de Ahrefs. Él accedió, él me dijo que sí, súper amable, ¿vale? Una persona con el nivel de responsabilidad que tiene él, que gestiona a decenas de personas dentro de Ahrefs. Como digo, un contenido muy raro, un contenido muy distinto. Si eres SEO, si amas esta disciplina, como nosotros, seguramente lo disfrutarás. Y creo que esta pequeña pieza de contenido, esta entrevista que vas a ver hoy, forma parte desde hoy de la historia del SEO hispano. Y muy contento por la parte de mi equipo y también la mía, ¿no? De alguna forma de formar parte de esto, de haberlo hecho posible, ¿ok? La entrevista es en inglés, lógicamente, la hemos subtitulado con un traductor profesional, ¿vale? Que se dedica a esto, ¿vale? A lo que es traducciones, subtítulos de vídeos y demás. No está hecho con IA, ¿vale? Porque son conceptos muy técnicos, obviamente. Y bueno, la entrevista la ha hecho mi gran amigo y compañero de oficina también, muchos días, Sergio Canales, ¿vale? Sergio Canales, que como muchos ya sabéis, pues empezó siendo alumno de Mentoría SEO, lo reventó dentro de la formación de Mentoría SEO. Pasó de 300 a 3.000 al mes más o menos, actualmente ya va por los 5.000, 6.000 euros al mes con webs de nicho. Y además de eso sabe hablar inglés mucho más fluido que yo. Así que Sergio se ofreció a formar parte de la entrevista con Tim Soulo de Ahrefs y este es el resultado. Espero que lo disfrutes, espero que te mole, un contenido diferente. Decir que por nuestra parte en el podcast de Mentoría SEO, y con esto ya termino y te dejo con ellos, vamos a parar unas cuantas semanas, ¿vale? Ha sido un lanzamiento estelar, ha sido un lanzamiento increíble, apoteósico, me atrevería a decir. Han salido muy bien, ¿vale? Todos los números, las métricas, el tráfico que hemos movido, el engagement, las llamadas, la gente interesada como loca por entrar en Mentoría SEO porque tenemos el mejor producto SEO formativo a día de hoy. Pero también ha sido agotador, esta es la pura realidad, ha sido agotador. Entonces, bueno, yo particularmente lideré los 2 días del evento principales, junto con ayuda, por supuesto, de mis socios, de mi equipo. Pero bueno, han sido muchas horas de batalla y ahora nos vamos a tomar pues unos días un poquito más de tranquilidad, ¿vale? De cara a los alumnos también, ¿no? Que han entrado de Mentoría SEO y a prepararlo todo. Y de aquí a unas pocas semanas volveremos con más entrevistas en este podcast y siguiendo haciendo lo que más nos gusta, ¿no? Que es divulgar contenido SEO para el ecosistema SEO en español. Así que nada más, te dejo con Tim Soulo de Ahrefs.
Hello, Tim. First of all, I would like to say that it is a true honor for us having you here with us. Thank you so much for joining us today on our podcast. Well, I really look forward to the valuable insights you will bring to our program.
Thanks a lot for inviting me. I'm very excited to speak a little bit to the Spanish SEO community through your podcast.
Thank you. So, well, first of all, if there is anybody who still doesn't know you, I would like to ask you, who is Tim Soulo and what do you do for a living?
I'm Chief Marketing Officer at a company called Ahrefs. We build great SEO tools. I've been with the company for almost 9 years now. I joined in 2015. And I joined when the company was just 15 people. That's 15. So basically I joined quite early and I was the only marketer in the team. And I was responsible for the entire marketing of the company ever since. That's basically it.
Wow, that is impressive. And
thank you.
To put it in context, at the time being, at this moment, how big is Ahrefs in terms of billing on user, more or less?
Yeah, we shared a couple years ago that we've crossed 100 million in annual recurring revenue. I don't remember where exactly we shared this, but yeah, I think it was a couple years ago. We don't really share our revenue numbers publicly kind of consistently, but we were quite happy about reaching 100 million. So we shared that, and in terms of headcount, we're at about 100 people total at Ahrefs.
Well. In order to achieve those numbers, you have to have something, right? You have to have something that sets you apart from your competitors. So I would like to ask you, what would you consider that are the main strengths of Ahrefs?
It's obviously engineering. As much as I would want to say that our marketing is fantastic, it's engineering that helps the company to grow the way that we were growing. Because if you one of the key things that Ahrefs does is we crawl the entire web in order to report the backlink data. So whenever you want to see who is linking to your website, who is linking to your competitors, or any given page in the internet, we know who is linking to it. For that, we have to crawl the entire web. And the web is very big. It's billions of websites and I don't know, billions and billions and billions of pages. I don't even remember those big numbers off the top of my head. So the thing is, the number of companies that have their index, their database of the entire internet, I think it can be counted on the fingers of, if not one, then two hands. So I guess there's a dozen companies, like Google, obviously, Bing, but those are the biggest companies in the world, search engines. In terms of commercial companies, SEO tools that have their own index of backlinks, it's Ahrefs, SEMrush, Majestic, and Moz, to the best of my knowledge. At least these are the four biggest ones. So the level of engineering that goes into creating a product like Ahrefs is very, very high. It's not like launching a productivity tool or meditation app or things like that. So you have to have amazing engineers to be able to achieve that. And what helped Ahrefs grow is just the superiority of our data, the quality of our data, the depth of our data. And it helped me a lot as a marketer, because as a marketer, you need to spread awareness about the product. You need to find what is awesome about your product, and you need to tell it to as many people as possible. And it was easy for me because Ahrefs product is awesome. We have amazing data, and I just had to tell everyone and explain and show everyone how amazing our data is. But yeah, our secret sauce is engineering. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I do have to say that the bot you have, it's incredible. It is something that I think you mentioned on your landing page, that it is maybe the best, or at least is ranked the first one. And on your webpage, something that I truly believe. And so I would like to congratulate you on that, because it is something just amazing how you crawl the whole world in with your boat.
On our homepage we mentioned that. I think our crawler ranks number 5 from all around the world. So I think Google is the first one. Then I think Bing, Yandex is somewhere there, and we're number 5. And among the SEO tools, we're number 1. We have the best crawler out of all the SEO tools.
Yeah, well, that's impressive. And so you have this great tool, but I would like to ask you about this. How do you show the public what makes you better than the competitors?
Homepage is one way, because when people learn about you, when people learn about your brand, for example, we're talking right now, then maybe some of the listeners have never heard of Ahrefs. So we already discussed how awesome our crawler and our data is, but let's say we talked about different topics. I know content marketing, link building, anything. Mm-hmm. So people would still learn about Ahrefs. They would want to check out our tool. They would go to our homepage and they would scroll through to see how we present ourselves. And your homepage is a great way to tell your potential customers as well as existing customers, because your existing customers might be visiting your homepage as well to see what's going on. So your homepage is a great way to communicate with people and to tell them what you want to tell them. And then there are all sorts of ways to get in front of your target audience. There's content marketing, there's advertising, there's events marketing, there's social media marketing. So basically you take your message, you take something that you want to tell to people, to your market, so to say, and you push that message across all the channels that you have. We can call it firing all cannons. I like to say firing all cannons. So all the, weapons of marketing that you have, you need to fire them all if you want the message to reach people.
So I guess you have answered my next question, which was that for anyone who has a SaaS tool, how do you acquire new users? But what you said about firing all cannons is I think it is the answer, right?
There are many different ways to acquire users for SaaS product, and it of course depends on what the SaaS product is. For example, at Ahrefs, we were incredibly lucky because there's a lot of search demand for the topics around SEO. So people are searching for different things related to SEO. They're searching in Google how to do an SEO audit. They're searching in Google how to do SEO report for their customers or for their clients or their boss. They're searching how to do keyword research. They're searching what is long-tail keywords. And this is your chance to be there for people who are searching for those things, because they are potentially interested in your product as well, in our product. Because people are searching for things related to search engine optimization. We create this content, we get that traffic from Google to our website, and then we tell them about Ahrefs. So, but for other products, they might, people might not know they have this problem that your product is solving, so they might not be searching for it. In which case, advertising would be a much better strategy for you rather than search engine optimization, because then if search engine optimization is targeted at people who search for you or the things you do, advertising is for reaching people that don't necessarily search for you. But if you have a compelling enough offer, if you have an interesting enough message, you might be able to make people click on your advertisement, on your ad, go to your website, read whatever you have to tell them, and sign up for your product. And advertising comes in many different forms. It's not just running an ad on Facebook, on Twitter. For example, there's even podcast advertising. So for a podcast like we're doing right now, a lot of podcasts accept sponsors. And this is a great way to get in front of people. So you sponsor a bunch of podcasts with your message, and all the people who are listening to a podcast, they will get exposed to a message. So there are many ways to promote a SaaS product. You just need to think of your resources and your goals and all that stuff, because some software products are venture-backed and they have a big marketing budget and they need to grow fast. Other software products are bootstrapped, their budget is small, but at the same time, they're not in a rush to grow, so they can invest little by little and build out their channels little by little, because there's no pressure to grow from any, board of directors or venture capitalists. So yeah, the situations are very different, and there are very many ways to promote a software product.
Yeah. I like what you said about the podcast, for example, because here in Spain there are two podcasts about SEO, and both of them are sponsored by Ahrefs. One is called Campamento Web here in Spain, and there is another one that is called Máquina del SEO that it is not anymore, but it was sponsored by Ahrefs, and it was a great way to get new users, because they talk at the beginning of the podcast about Ahrefs. They tell that there is a Ahrefs webmaster tool that it is for free. So it is a good way to get new users and to try the tool for free. So yeah, I think that's a very good way to get the word spread.
Yeah, thank you.
So let's say that we have a user, an undecided user, a user that is on the fence. He has to decide between your tool and a different one, and he ends up choosing your tool. Why would you say it is that?
So the thing is, because we have so much educational content about SEO and about how to use Ahrefs, while people are consuming this content, they are watching the videos on our YouTube channel, they're reading our blog, they may be following me on Twitter because I tweet some marketing advice, I tweet some hacks in Ahrefs. So people get a very good understanding of the use cases of Ahrefs, what you can do in it, what you can achieve, how to use it. So why they choose us is because there are quite a few things that Ahrefs can do that other software companies cannot do. And we are trying to focus on this because we're not the only SEO tool out there, and there's quite a bit of overlap in functionality of different SEO tools. So depending on what exactly you need to do, there are a lot of tools to do that. For example, rank tracking is quite a simple feature, and there are tons of different rank trackers. There are standalone rank tracking tools. There are rank tracking tools that are integrated into a broader suite of tools. But essentially, if someone needs a rank tracker, they have a ton of options, and the Ahrefs might not be the best option for them, because I think our rank tracker tool is the least developed in our toolkit. We're working on that, but right now it is what it is. But if you need to work with backlinks, if you need to analyze your competitor's backlink profile, if you need to look up some backlink ideas, if you need to analyze the backlinks of your own website, like I said, there are only 4 big players that have an index of backlinks. And Ahrefs is widely regarded the leader in this field, which means that if your use case is in link building. If you want to study links, if you want to build links, if you want to research links, then Ahrefs is the choice for you. So it really depends on the use case that people have, because Ahrefs right now we have 5 core tools. We have a competitive intelligence tool, we have a keyword research tool, we have a rank tracker, we have a content research tool, and we have a website audit tool. So there are tons of different use cases that we serve, and depending on the needs of a person, we might or might not be the best tool for them. So we try to focus on our strength rather than trying to compare ourselves with everyone and with everything.
Yeah. But I do have to agree that your backlink profile is really, really good. That, for example, we have a course with hundreds of students, and when we start the course, we always tell them to use Ahrefs, at least for the first 2 months, because we create niches and we need to spy on the competitors. We need to know how are the organic traffic graph, for example. We need to know the links they have in order to know if we can compete with them or not. So at least the 2 first months we urge them to use Ahrefs, because there is no tool like that in that sense. So
thanks a lot. Thank you.
So let's change to the other side. If you have to pick a reason why a user doesn't take the final step to sign up on Ahrefs, this like obstacle or objection maybe for a user to take this step to joining Ahrefs, what would you say it is?
I don't think there's a single reason. Of course, for a lot of people, it's the price. But it's usually for either solopreneurs like freelancers or people who have SEO as their side project. They are usually quite price sensitive. So they want to invest as little money as possible. Because if we're talking about marketers that work in the in-house teams of companies, or if we're talking about marketing agencies, they usually have money to pay for a premium tool, and they usually pay for not even one tool. They have 3, 4, 5 different tools. Again, like I said, Ahrefs is not the best in everything. So sometimes people just buy different tools to do things where Ahrefs is not the best, because if they want the best performance in every field, they want to get the best product in every field. So yeah, there are different reasons why people wouldn't sign up, but we don't really study this, so it's not that we ask people why didn't you sign up, and it's very hard to do because only a small percentage of people will answer this question for you. Everyone else will just ignore you. But if I were to make a guess, if we're talking about people who do need an SEO tool and have the budget for it, I would say it's that they didn't get enough education from us. So they don't know enough about Ahrefs to make a decision. So they might have heard about this use case and that use case, and that we have like great backlink database, but this is not enough for them to make a decision to sign up. And as they consume more of our content, for example, they would see us at a conference and ask some questions. They would listen to a podcast like this one. They would read a bunch of articles from our blog. They would follow me on Twitter. And they would learn more and more interesting things that Ahrefs can do for them. And then as the amount of things that they can use Ahrefs for grows in their head, they decide, okay, there are so many things I want to use it for, it's time to sign up. So yeah, I think people who hesitate to sign up, they do it because they don't know all the powers of our platform yet.
Yeah, but I do have to say there that your YouTube channel is like creating a great content right now. So the work that Sam is doing right now,
yeah,
is really, really good.
Sam is amazing.
He's amazing. You can tell that he mastered the thing he's saying, but not only that, he's very good communicating, and to make things interesting, very dynamic, and you can really enjoy watching these videos from him because are really, really, really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam is golden.
Yeah, yes, he is.
Si te está gustando lo que estás viendo, suscríbete a este canal de YouTube, suscríbete al canal de YouTube de Mentorizados, el podcast de Mentoría SEO, porque constantemente vamos a seguir creando contenido súper potente. Tenemos un montón de invitados que vamos a traer. Tenemos muy buenos contactos dentro del mundo del SEO y yo desde aquí humildemente voy a tratar de sacarles todos sus secretos, todos sus trucos, todo su aprendizaje, ¿no? Basado en todos sus años de experiencia para que tú, desde tu casa, aprendas. Así que nada más, suscríbete en el canal, activa si puedes la campanita y de esta forma no te perderás ningún episodio de los siguientes que publicaremos.
I would like to ask you about the free trial that you were offering a few years ago. I think to remember, I'm not sure, but I think it was like 7 days free trial, which it is not anymore. And I would like to ask you about it, if we can know the reason behind this change.
Yeah, there's a whole story behind it, and a lot of people were asking us about this, and not just SEO professionals. A lot of people who are building SaaS products were asking us about our experience, about our journey with the free trial and paid trial. So much so that I actually recorded a video about this. So there's a YouTube channel that I tried to run at a certain point in time. It's called SaaS Marketing Blog. I didn't update it for a while, but a few interesting videos are still there. And I recorded a video about our journey with the trial, because originally we didn't have a trial at all. We just had an input field, and you could start using Ahrefs immediately, of course with some restrictions, but you land on our homepage and you can put in a website URL, click go, and we would show you the data for this website URL. Then later we switched to, it was free 14-day trial, so we gave 2 weeks for free, but we were taking credit cards. So it was kind of a classic SaaS way to make people register an account and leave a credit card, because we don't charge them for the first 2 weeks. They still have 2 weeks to try the product. But if they like the product, they already did the job of giving us all the necessary information to charge them for the first month of use. It's a very good strategy. This is why it is being used by so many software companies. But we quickly realized that a lot of people are abusing this, because 2 weeks is quite a long time to use our software. And if you just need to enter credit card and we don't even charge you, that's a great deal. And people were just abusing the hell out of it. So then we switched to 7-day, $7 trial. So we charged $7 and gave you access for 7 days only. That limited the abuse a little bit, but not that much. A lot of people were still abusing our trial. A lot of people were still signing up every week, because it wasn't like 2 weeks, it wasn't 14 days, just 7 days. So a lot of people were signing up every week instead of just paying for 1 month. But still, they were at least paying us $7. So then we decided that we should just get rid of our trial and see what happens. So we removed the trial from our website, and we no longer have the trial, and it still works out for us. People are still registering accounts.
Yeah. Instead of that, the Ahrefs webmaster tool, I think it's a good alternative, because for a person who is starting, having the opportunity to register your web in Ahrefs, it's a good way to start using the tool, and you can have a lot of information about your web page. You can have a site audit email to your email every week. So I think that's a good alternative, having that in Ahrefs. That's also a classic freemium play, because a lot of people are just not ready to pay anything at all. They don't need
a premium tool. They just want a free tool that does at least something for them. And we decided that we can provide them with this kind of thing as well.
Yeah. So we think we have learned here in DinoRank is the importance of listening to the customer feedback. So I would like to ask you how it is on Ahrefs. How is your system about that?
We don't have any specific system of how we do this, but we definitely keep an eye on what people are asking from our support team. So we have a support chat. And a lot of people don't just refer to our support chat with any questions about the software, but they also have feedback. They have feature requests, or they report certain bugs, and our support team then sends this information to our product team, to our marketing team, or whoever is capable of solving that issue for people. We also monitor what people say online, on social networks, in different Facebook groups, on Twitter, on Reddit. So we keep an eye on what people are discussing, and if they're mentioning us, if they're mentioning our competitors, if they're mentioning any interesting use cases or what they want SEO tools to do. And finally, we also have this software called Kenny, I think .io, maybe, I don't remember. So yeah, if someone would search for Kenny feedback software, I think that they would find it. It's basically like a forum where people can leave their feature requests and they can upvote and discuss feature requests of other people. And it's also quite helpful for us to keep an eye on what kind of functionality our customers want from us.
No, that's good. What would you say is the main reason for a user to stop using Ahrefs?
The main reason is that they either switch jobs, or no longer have the funds to pay. So yeah, that's usually it. Yeah.
And the main reason for them to stay?
They have a job and they have things to do with Ahrefs. So yeah, they stay and keep paying.
Okay. So, and then I would like to ask you, like, if you had like a magic wand and you could improve or change anything just right now magically, what would you do on Ahrefs?
I don't even know, because we're changing something all the time. Every week we're releasing some new updates and we are changing more things. So yeah, I don't need a magic wand. The changes happen all the time.
Wow. So every week you are like updating your system, your code. Wow.
Yeah. We have quite a few engineers, and they're working all the time essentially. So we're shipping updates almost every week. Some of them are of course very small. Some are big, but more or less every week something new would be released.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, if I'm not mistaken, I think that sometimes I get an email from Ahrefs, from Rebecca, if I'm not mistaken, informing me about these new releases or changes that have been performed on Ahrefs. So yeah. So
yeah, we have monthly roundups. So every month we would notify our customers of everything we released in our software.
Okay. Let's pivot a little bit, because I would like to ask you then that if you had to start from the scratch all over again, what would you do the same, or what would you do differently than before?
What I would do differently? I don't even know. I think we were growing quite steadily and naturally. So, of course, we did a few mistakes where we kind of wasted time and resources. For example, at one point, because our YouTube channel is so successful in English, we decided let's try to used dubbing, kind of to hire a voice actor and to dub our channel in different languages. I think Spanish was one of them. So we have Ahrefs channel in Spanish, if we didn't delete it yet, Ahrefs yes. So you can search for it and see if you like the quality of dubbing. But we spent quite a bit of time and resources on it, and it didn't work because we didn't see those channels with dubbed videos performing as good as our English channel was performing. And it's not that dubbing doesn't work at all, because, for example, Mr. Beast, a YouTuber that everyone knows about, he's dubbing his videos into a bunch of different languages, and each of his channels in different languages is very big. So people watch that. But in our case, it didn't work. So what I would do differently, I would avoid some of those things that we tried and didn't work, and do more of those things that we tried and they did work.
Right, of course. So then I would like to ask you about the biggest challenge that Ahrefs has faced since the beginning, and what did you do to overcome it?
The biggest challenge that we faced, probably that we were a fairly new player on the market, because back when I joined Ahrefs, we were fairly small. The biggest one was Moz, and Majestic was quite big. I think we were more or less the size of Majestic, and the SEMrush was already bigger than us. So I guess the challenge was that we had bigger companies that had more audience, that had better marketing, and it was hard to kind of penetrate the market. It was hard to insert ourselves into the conversation. But if you keep working, if you keep grinding, if you keep producing interesting stuff, sooner or later, more and more people learn about you, more and more people start to respect you, more and more people start to follow you, more and more people start to use your product. So yeah, it took us like 9 years, at least as I was with the company. It took us 9 years to get to where we are today. So it's a gradual process. If someone is thinking to reach 100 million in annual recurring revenue in 2 years, then that is only possible if you have this venture funding and you can spend hundreds of millions of dollars every year just on marketing alone. But if you're bootstrapping, you have to admit the fact that you're going to grow quite slowly.
Mm-hmm. And how were the beginnings? If I'm not mistaken, you mentioned that already, that you were not in Ahrefs at the beginning. You joined the company in 2015, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But do you remember or how were the beginnings like?
Yeah, at the beginning, I believe that Dmitry, our CEO and founder, he worked on marketing and distribution quite a bit personally. So he was reaching out to different influencers in the space. He was giving him access to Ahrefs to test it and to write articles about it, to write newsletters about it. He also hired different marketing agencies to help him to improve the website. He employed some freelancers to write content for the blog. So still nothing, there's no magic behind it. It's just Dmitry as the founder of the company. At first you need to do everything yourself. And he was personally responsible for quite a few of those things. And then he was gradually delegating those things to other people. And then he found me, and I guess I successfully handled the marketing part. And then I was hiring people and delegating some of the things that I wanted to pass to someone else and focus on something else.
Yeah. So you would say that one of the most important things to grow or to scale would be to delegate to other people.
Yeah, because if you want to do more work, generally you need to hire people to help you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that we sometimes hear, at least in the SEO Spanish community. We struggle with it because we sometimes tend to do everything, and we do not realize of the importance of delegate things to other people, that they will do the things even better than you because they are specialized in that. So it is something that we have learned here in at least in Spanish spoken countries, I think.
Yeah. You cannot be awesome in everything. For example, again, I'm very lucky that I hired Sam, because what he's doing with YouTube channel, I wouldn't probably be able to do the same, or at least I would need to put my full attention there, and I wouldn't be able to do other things. So yeah, you also need to hire great people. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would like to ask you about your plans in the plans of Ahrefs in this year, in 2024. What are your plans in general terms, or what is the biggest challenge you are facing right now, and how are you addressing it?
The biggest challenge is, of course, artificial intelligence, because it creates a lot of uncertainty in our industry. People are wondering what would happen to Google. Would it turn just into ChatGPT and give instant answers? How are we going to get traffic? And also, every software tool is now trying to add some AI functionality into it, and we are no different. We're also trying to adopt the latest technology and find ways to implement that technology within our product in a way that would be useful to people. So I guess this year, that's the biggest challenge, to monitor where AI would go and find ways to implement AI in our own product to make it more useful for our customers.
Yeah. How do you think that the artificial intelligence is impacting on Google and in general on the world of SEO?
I really don't know. I see that they're quite slow. So they have announced this search generative experience or something like that, SGE. But I don't see them rolling it out fast enough or to too many people. So yeah, I don't know what's happening in Google, but we are observing, and once we see that they release something that will stay for a long time, not just again an experiment or something, but actually like this is what Google will be going forward, we'll need to find ways to adapt somehow.
Yeah, I think that's the key, that wait and see and then adjust to new waves. So I guess this is it. This is the interview. Well, I have just one last question. How likely do you think it is for the Dino Rank team to be there in Singapore at some point in the future and invite you for a few beers?
I don't know. You tell me. Do you have plans to visit Singapore?
Not at this year, but I don't know. I can pass that information. I can suggest them to go there, and if we are there, we may try to locate you and have a beer with you to thank you for cool.
Thanks. We're planning to do a conference in Singapore by the end of this year, 2024. So maybe that would be a good excuse, a good reason for you to come to Singapore to visit our conference.
No, for sure. I will tell that to him. I will try to persuade him to go there, and I will tell you. So thank you so much for the interview. We really appreciate you being here with us today.
Thanks a lot for inviting.
Thank you so much.